that's not what normal people do.
I just think it's like a really cool creative outlet, really.
We just chill, we watch movies, we eat, we do what any other group does. It's just furry themed.
We're all pretty friendly, and it's just this tight-knit community where we can just talk to each other, hang out, do fun things.
So you get to experience pretty much a microcosm of the world, as it were.
Okay, so what I think a furry is anything that you can take any type of animal and make them humanoid.
Well, when you think when you were a little kid, I mean, you have the cartoons that we used to watch, and of course there were, anthropomorphic creatures like, a talking dog or a talking cat or a talking giraffe or something like that. But, it's really just an enthusiast group of people who really enjoy that sort of thing.
I think a furry is pretty much a fan of like cartoon animals, like the Disney Robin Hood stuff, Lion King, all that, animals with human features, pretty much.
It's a very broad thing. It's anyone who's a fan of anthropomorphic art, writing, movies, music to a certain extent.
Someone who just enjoys the furry art, anyone who can contribute, they can just watch, they can just be a fan,
Well, whenever I'm with furries, people seem more open to a lot of things. Like, it seems like there's less filters, less societal stops.
I guess what you would consider abnormal, but we would consider normal, like just what you would do with normal friends, hang out, talk about some fur things, talk about stuff in general, how classes are going. It's like any other culture. We have the normative things we talk about, and we have the general things that everyone else talks about.
It's just like hanging out with any of my regular friends, and it's just nice to be able to, if I wanted to step back and talk about that kind of group and have people who understand.
It's the community. I really enjoy, hanging out with friends, going to meets, doing things like cons and stuff like that, suiting,
Well, when I'm with my friends, we usually just have lunch together most of the time, hang out, different places. Nothing specifically furry, except wear tails and, all that kind of stuff.
I feel fairly comfortable around them. We can talk about things that are, mundane. We can talk about things that are furs, and I can transition back and forth pretty well.
A lot of times I meet furs through other furs. Usually when starting out, you do meet them on the internet, and then you meet them in real life, and then it just snowballs from there.
Well, mainly I meet with them, not personally meet with them, but online, and going around looking at other people's art or stories and kind of like friending them, like kind of like a Facebook.
Online, for instance, there's the IFPL, the Internet Furry Proximity Locator. It's basically a website where you register for an account, usually under your Sona's name, but any username will do. And you punch in your zip code, and it extrapolates from that a list of furs in your area. There's also Facebook groups a lot, and if you go to conventions, you usually do meet a lot of new people.
A lot of the furs I meet on the internet are really nice, and it just, like, they start a conversation up with you real quick, and you can just talk back and forth, and it's very comfortable.
First, it starts, why are you wearing a tail?
It does have a bad name, but to be completely honest, it's harmless.
I think a lot of people think badly of us, mainly because they don't really understand. They think they do, which is sad, I think.
Like if you tell people that you're a fur, if they know, even if they've heard of that term before, they already start thinking of things that they want to call you or they want to assume about you.
It's varied. Some people are very open-minded about it. They don't really mind as long as we're not hurting anybody. Some people would laugh and say that we're crazy, but what is crazy,
Like I wear my hat every now and then, and people who look at me and say nice, I'm like, oh, well, they're a furry. Because everyone else who looks at me with weird eyes, like, oh, they have an idea about me.
I'm here for the community. I'm here for the people that I've met and the friends that I've made.